Soapbox, the talk show host edition. I'm your host, Ashley Reilly, and I have something to say. To all you Facebookers out there, not just any Facebooker, but the ones who are imaginary farmers, imaginary marine biologists, and imaginary zookeepers, who inundate me daily with your updates. You're killing me. You're literally rotting my brain from the insides of my eyeballs. I don't get it. Oh look, John, he just fed his pigs. Oh, Mary just fed her fish tank. Oh wait, back to John, he found an extra bag of fertilizer in the barn. Oh no, Mary, she doesn't have enough fish food to feed all the fish. Quickly, she needs your help. Oh no, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I tell you what we're going to do. We are going to pray. We're going to pray that Facebook encounters a global warming, an imaginary global warming, and instantaneously combusts all of your crops. Also, your pigs are going to grow wings and fly away, and a mutant strain of green algae is going to infect every one of your fish tanks, creating an instantaneous sushimi buffet. Because I am starving! But enough about that. Tonight, we are very, very excited to have the one and only best-selling author, T. Gifford Cook. You know who I'm talking about because he is everywhere. And tonight, he is here. So, right after these commercial breaks, we will be right back. Wait, hold on. I'm getting a message from the booth that there will be no commercial breaks because this isn't a real TV show and we're not actually on TV. And apparently there actually is not a booth, so I am not talking to anyone but myself. And there actually is no earpiece in my ear. And welcome back, folks. Tonight I am really excited. On this inaugural launching of the Soapbox, we have with us today the very highly talented and acclaimed writer, the one and only T. Gifford Cook, if I pronounced that correctly. We're going to here discuss his best-selling book, The Lone Ranter. So, without any further ado, I'd like to bring on Mr. T. Gifford Cook.
All right.
Please, have a seat.
Mr. Reilly, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Oh, my pleasure, sir. My pleasure.
Oh, I know. I am the bestseller after all. So
you are. You're a bestseller. I mean, out of left field. I mean, the New York Times #1. I mean, 3 months ago there was no T. Gifford Cook, and now there is not enough people in this world to take up all the demand for Mr. T. Gifford Cook.
There is a high demand. I'm on Nickelodeon after this. So that's actually depressing, but no worries. But yeah, before this I was just plain old Terrence Cook. And
Terrence Cook?
Yeah, that's actually my name. My name is not T. T. Gifford Cook is my writing name.
Oh.
I am actually Terrence Cook. I use T. Gifford Cook so that, if there's anything that I write in my books that someone doesn't agree with, they'll have a lot more trouble trying to find me.
True. But yeah, I must say, you are the first and only white Terrence that I've ever met.
That is true. I have gotten that a lot. I've actually spent the last few decades rounding up all the other white Terrences and storing them in a warehouse so that I can make myself even more unique in that regard. So, yes.
I like that.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm glad my name's not Terrence.
Yeah, well, that is very fortunate for you. That is, because, like I said, you would be in a warehouse right now. So.
Excellent, excellent. Now, we were just talking about this. I mean, this book, I've read it. It's fantastic.
Thank
I mean,
you.
it's this political diatribe, so to speak, with 20,000 feet. Where, I mean, from somebody who hasn't, from as far as we know, had any writing record, where does something like this come from?
Years and years of a few things. Distaste for the political climate in our country, for just the actual, just person-to-person climate. I feel like people have become a little bit more obnoxious and less tactful towards each other. I think it's just our society. And it also comes from years and years of rejection of my screenwriting.
Oh.
So I was actually a screenwriter, and which is one of the hardest professions in the world because they only produce movies that suck. They actually no longer produce movies that people actually want to watch or go to the movie theater or even put in their Netflix queue. So it's very hard for a very talented person like myself who just writes these Oscar-worthy screenplays to get the actual movie made. So Mr.
Cook, what do you offer in these screenplays that apparently we, as a population, are not getting when we're going to see a blockbuster like Avatar, where we get to live amongst all this blue people?
Well, in my movies, people are yellow. What do you think about that?
Different.
Yeah.
Different.
It's actually not what happens. I wish I came up with Avatar, because then I wouldn't be living in my mother's basement. But no, my writing comes from me. I never studied writing. I never tried to follow anybody. I just always tried to find my own voice, and I think I've done that in The Lone Ranter. I've, years and years of being a cable news watcher, years and years of reading both left and right-wing essays and, political garbage, that I just realized that they're all full of it. And that how can you really have progress in a country where people just, they think that everyone else is wrong and that they're the only person who's right? There has to be a little bit of give and take.
That's a good point. I've noticed this myself. Just obviously, very recently we've had huge reform in the world of healthcare. But it hasn't been without a fight. We've got people who have difficulty looking at the other side of the fence.
Absolutely, and that's a lot of what I talk about in the book. It's no one gets it easy in my book. It's one of those things where healthcare, you just have people who are completely against it, as if it is the worst thing that has ever been thought of in life, and then people who are for it, who actually have no idea what is within it. And so that's my point, is that there are some good things, there are some bad things, and the only way to move forward is to, what I write about in the book is sometimes just to get that big piece of wood, put it in the middle of the shop, and then, you finally have it. You took that first initial step, and now it's everyone else's chance to chisel it and make something, worthy. So,
well, I suppose for you and I and our future generations, I most certainly hope that somebody chops away that wood and at least doesn't get rid of it, because, I know there's a lot of backbiting, backpedaling almost. And,
sure. And you forgot one thing that we also want our future generations to do, which is to learn, and no better place to learn than by buying and reading. You do not make money, kids, by getting this book in the library. You get this by going to Barnes & Noble and buying it with your parents' credit card.
The hardcover copy only.
Cover. There will be no soft cover.
Well, Mr. Cook, I'm truly honored to have had you on our show. This book is changing our social dynamics as we speak. Every page that's turned is most certainly enlightening, and I look forward to your upcoming appearance on Nickelodeon. Most certainly will be fun. Good luck with Barney, is it?
Yeah, it's going to be Barney. Going to punch him in the face.
Excellent. Well, I know you're working on some screenplays.
Yes.
And we have any hope of seeing any of that coming up?
Well, hopefully with the leeway I've made with this book, someone will see the prowess of my writing, and they'll decide to make a good movie.
So to any of those big companies out there, if you haven't read this book, pick it up. take a read, and then give Mr. T. Gifford Cook a call, because he has more in store.
More. Lots more.
Pleasure, sir.
Thank you so much for having me.
And we'll be back next week, where we will probably talk to Barney the dinosaur and his experience with T. Gifford Cook. So, from us, good night.